And the fun thing is that you get to buy all of the different wonderful products that he is using in the show. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Here's your part. We want to hear your thoughts, your questions, and we want you to engage with us on social media. So in a couple of moments, I'm going to be getting an iPad, and I'm going to be asking you to come on in and say hi and to hear from us. All right, Chef.
You ready?
What are we going to be eating today?
Okay, let's eat. Marlo, let's cook. Okay, so today is all about Kitchen HQ and how our products are designed to make your life easier in the kitchen, but you need recipes to help you out, to make life easier, more approachable. And really the star of the whole day is all about cast iron. We're gonna start off with our 9-inch cast iron pie pans and how to make the perfect pie, quiche, fruit pie, savory pie, even just using it as a little roasting pan for a single chicken breast or a single piece of fish is absolutely great because cast iron gets hot, stays hot, and is all about even heat distribution. When you think about grandma cooking with cast iron in a pan, why was it so good? It's because you got even heat, whether you're searing, frying. In this case, you get even heat when you're baking, when you're roasting. So let's talk about the perfect pie. Here I've got my basic pie crust. It's just flour, butter, an egg yolk, and a little bit of sugar. I like sugar even in a savory pie because it gives it a little bit of color. So a basic pie crust, that's not the hard part. The hard part is how to bake it without your pie crust shrinking. I know it's happened out there. Without it getting too light or too dark. You need the right conductivity of heat, and that's why cast iron is your friend. That's why we thought about it at Kitchen HQ. So I take my floured pie crust that I made. It's nice and cool to the touch, which you want a cool pie crust. If you get a hot pie crust, it's gonna shrink as well. So put your pie crust into that 9-inch, which is the perfect size. And what we're gonna do is a little technique called lift and pinch, lift and pinch, lift and pinch, get it in there. And that way we get it into our corners. If you can see that shot, if I get a little crinkly part here, I lift and pinch again. It's the lift and pinch. If you have a tear, don't worry about it. Just squeeze it tight together. Not gonna ruin anything. Lift and pinch. And again, this is just flour, butter, an egg yolk, a little bit of sugar, pinch of salt. That's not the hard part. The hard part is making sure it doesn't shrink on you, it doesn't get too dark, it doesn't get too light. And so that's why cast iron really is perfect, even for a pie pan. It's not just for searing and roasting and any of that. It's great for baking. So if you have a pie pan at home that's glass or aluminum or, one of those more quote-unquote traditional materials and you get inconsistent results or you get it shrinking or you get it too dark or you get it too light, cast iron is your friend for baking sweet pies, savory pies, even cookie bases, crumbles. But like I said, you get two. So I like to use one of them for a chicken breast or a piece of fish when I'm just cooking solo, right? It's non-stick, it's oven safe. So just as a little roaster pan, it's wonderful as well. Now here's another thing. If you have any excess crust, kind of poking off the side, take a paring knife, dull side, look, and you can kind of trim it. Now, unlike traditional cast iron, don't worry about using your metal utensils on the Kitchen HQ version. So it's not gonna scratch, it's not gonna stick. Notice I didn't grease my pie pan. You can just put it in, it won't stick. So now I've got my crust, super easy. And Marlo, I'll put up a recipe for a basic pie crust because I think it's important for any home cook to have. But once you find that you have the actual right vessel, like cast iron, the actual recipe is easy. You got the tools needed to get the right results you want. So in here,
no, I was going to say one of the things that I wanted to share with everybody because we did like a little meeting earlier. You were saying to me how much in the Kitchen HQ line, just across the board, how amazing our cast iron is. Whether it's the pie pans or any of the cast iron,
the
like
skillets, the braisers. We're gonna do a griddle later today as well. The reason being, you get the benefits of cast iron, which is just even, consistent heat retention. That's why when you're braising, you're baking, roasting, the temperature does not go down. Okay, when you get temperature fluctuation when you're baking, you get your pie crust shrinking or you get it too pale or too dark. Same thing with the griddle later that I'm gonna show you when we make the ultimate smash burgers and salmon dinner. The heat will be consistent and constant and not go down. But here, I'm gonna do my first kind of pie recipe. Now this pie crust is universal. You could do a sweet or savory application. I'm gonna start savory with a quiche. And the reason why I like a quiche, it's almost like the perfect fridge dump meal. You got eggs, you got leftover veggies, you got a cheese. You can make the most ultimate quiche. You could serve it hot, you could serve it room temp, you could serve it the day before, or sorry, the day after, I should say. So it's one of those things that I think everyone should have in their repertoire is how to make the perfect quiche. So here I've got my pie crust. Over here, I've got 8 eggs in my Kitchen HQ tiltable bowl. And why I love the tiltable bowl, Marlo, we talked about it last time. Whether I'm making a quiche or a scrambled egg, the key to having a light, fluffy interior is to kind of get air into your egg. And so I love being able to